videos and general studies complete videos, please subscribe to our complete package. 1. Yamuna's floodplain. Art of Living can hold its mega festival on the Yamuna's floodplains, but must take steps to restore the area to its original state afterward. What kind of damage is the event likely to cause, and what will restoration take? GS Paper 3, Conservation of Ecosystem. Why recently in news? On Wednesday, the National Green Tribunal, NGT, permitted Sri Ravi Shankar's Art of Living Foundation to organize its World Culture Festival on the floodplains of the Yamuna. Earlier, NGT imposed fine of Rs 5 crore on the organization, and asking it to undertake remedial action to restore the area to its original state at the end of the three-day event. The event has come under sharp criticism from environmental activists and NGOs because of the damage it is likely to cause to the Yamuna's floodplains. What is a floodplain? Floodplain is the area adjacent to a river that is not always underwater, but is prone to flooding. It is an extension of the riverbed. In the case of the Yamuna in Delhi, the area that is likely to get submerged at least once in a 25-year period has been classified as its floodplain. The floodplains are not separate from the river. They are an integral part of any river system, and are an ecologically sensitive area. So, what's happening on these floodplains for this event? The event has been billed as the biggest ever festival of music and dance. The Art of Living is claiming that 3.5 million people will attend. A huge 7-acre stage, apparently the world's largest ever, is being erected. Several tents have been put up, pontoon bridges are being built, dirt tracks are being laid, and heavy equipment have been deployed. Vegetation has been cut to make way for the temporary constructions. The entire area has been flattened. What is the likely impact on the environment? Environmentalists say such an event can cause permanent and irreparable damage to the river ecosystem in the affected area. One of the important functions of the floodplains is groundwater recharge. In the process of flattening, the surface has been hardened, and that severely impacts its groundwater recharge capability. The work at the site has also changed the natural gradient of the floodplain, which can diminish its flood-carrying capacity. Small water bodies and wetlands have been filled up. The extent of the likely damage is yet to be assessed. A committee appointed by the NGT did make a site visit, and recorded its observations in a report to the court. But it was based on just a 3-hour inspection, and not a proper scientific assessment. What did the committee say? Professor A.K. Gosain, one of the members of the committee, said that the site had been cleared of all natural vegetation, raised with the help of JCBs, and huge amount of debris and construction waste had been dumped into the main channel of the Yamuna. He said the activity could in no way be described as benign, and would have a permanent footprint on the floodplain. It recommended that the organizers restrict the area of their operation to the bare minimum, and pay for the entire cost of the restoration. It said that a strong message should be sent to the DDA so that such violations are not repeated, and a restoration plan is prepared and its implementation monitored strictly. Can the area be restored to its original condition? Technically, yes. The clearing of debris can be done comparatively easily. Some other works can take several years. However, the problem in this case is that the authorities don't even know what the original condition was. No study or assessment was done before the Art of Living Foundation was allowed to make changes to the floodplain for the event. In the absence of a baseline scenario, there is no way to assess whether the original condition has been restored. Depending on what the impacts are, the monetary costs of restoration can be very high. The NGT-appointed committee had estimated that between Rs 100 and Rs 120 crore might be required for the restoration. It had recommended that the organizers be asked to deposit this amount in a separate account ahead of the event. 2. Vulture nests in WWS decline. GS Paper 3, Conservation of Birds. Why recently in news? The nests of vulture population are dwindling in Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary, WWS, a safe habitat for different species of vultures in South India. The Forest and Wildlife Department in 4 forest ranges under the WWS organized a preliminary survey on vulture population as a part of the newly launched Vulture Conservation Program. This survey has pointed to a considerable decline in the number of nests. Survey spots 70 individual vultures but only 11 nests. What are the steps taken by our government to rescue the vultures? The manufacture of the veterinary diclofenac, as an anti-inflammatory treatment for livestock, was outlawed in India in 2006. This was followed by bans in Nepal, Pakistan and most recently in Bangladesh. Even after the government has imposed restrictions on the use of diclofenac, considered to have caused the decimation of vultures in the Indian subcontinent, the Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare had restricted human formulations of injectable diclofenac to single, 3 ml dose packs last year to check its misuse for veterinary use. However, diclofenac is still being found in cattle carcasses. Diclofenac formulated for humans is not banned and is still available. Why are vultures facing extinction? The birds were eating the carcasses of animals that had recently been treated with diclofenac. The birds were then dying of kidney failure. It has been shown that, even if less than 1% of animal carcasses contain lethal levels of the drug, this would have been enough to cause the collapse of vulture numbers. What are highlights of vulture survey? As many as 70 individual vultures, including 54 white-rumped vultures and 19 red-headed vultures. Only 11 nests sighted in 3 ranges of the sanctuary. While 17 nests had been spotted in the survey of last year. The largest number of nests was recorded at Kazukankoli in Kurichayad range of forest. No nest was found in Mutanga. Also, no long-billed vulture was spotted. Close to 150 individual vultures of different species spotted in a camera trap set up in the southern Baidari range of forest. Those vultures were from the adjacent sanctuaries and reached here for feeding.